Hi everyone, welcome to episode 9 of BolBasantii podcast season 2. And before I start the podcast, happy Navratri guys. और जैसा कि आप लोग देख सकते हैं कि मैं नवरात्रि की वाइब थोड़ा बहुत मैच करने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. सॉरी गाइस, मेरे पास कोई घाघरा चोली नहीं था जो ब्लू एंड व्हाइट कॉम्बिनेशन में हो, वरना मैं पक्का फुल वाइब में आती. ये पार्शल चित्र पिटर पे नहीं आती, बट प्लीज बेयर विद मी. ओके, सो लेट्स गेट बैक टू द पॉडकास्ट. सो इस एपिसोड में हम डिस्कस करेंगे that what are the do's and don'ts that I made sure that I keep in mind while getting into a relationship, or rather I'd say while looking for a relationship or meeting a guy, or thinking of a guy, a potential partner. And mind you guys, as much as this is my list of do's and don'ts, please hear me out. I'm pretty sure you guys will think that yeah, it does make sense. You can surely take whatever you feel you're comfortable with or whatever resonates with you. So first, don't be desperate to get into a relationship. I'll tell you why. There's nothing wrong you being open to being in a relationship. Go out, meet new people. Nothing wrong in that. But when we are desperate, no, what happens is that in desperation, you tend to confuse the initial liking, infatuation, or attraction, whether physical, mental, emotional, whatsoever, with something far much more deeper and intense called love. So to avoid that confusion, don't be desperate. Be open to it. Meet people, but don't get desperate कि अगर थोड़ा सा भी liking किसी को, you might not find somebody else. No, it's nothing like that ever. You will find the right person for you in the time that is set out for you. Because if you go into this desperation mode now, you land up again repeating your past mistakes all over again. So the idea of this episode is basically not to repeat our past mistakes, but to learn from them and to avoid repeating those mistakes again. So second, don't be in a rush. Don't be in a rush to know the person, to fall for the person. Like, take your time. Give the other person also time. Take your time to know the person. Like, organically let things happen. I know we are in the age of fast food where we want 30-second and McDonald's का order दिया और मिल जाता है 30 minutes नहीं तो free. But then we all know कि fast food या junk food हमारे लिए कितना unhealthy होता है. Let it brew. Or rather I would say बिरयानी यार, दम बिरयानी जो होती है उसको time लगता है. The cook takes time to let the masalas roast, have the flavors seep in the entire dish and every grain of it. All of that. Okay, now I'm feeling hungry. Let's not talk about food. Generally मेरी life के analogies ना हमेशा they land up somewhere connected to food. But that's me. I'm a foodie. Vegetarian, but yet foodie. Third, don't compromise no matter whatsoever. Relationships are compromised. You've got to compromise. Otherwise, relationships successful नहीं होंगे. Any relationship should not be a compromise. And if it's a healthy relationship, your partner or you will never ask. Either of you will never ask each other to compromise. Yes, there are adjustments. I don't deny that. Because obviously, the two people in that relationship are two different kind of people. There might be some similarities, there might be some dissimilarities, there might be some gaps between their personalities, which is why you need to adjust. You need to come and find a midway to, sort out things and figure out things for yourself. But when it comes to compromise, it's basically either my way or highway, which is not how a relationship works. One person cannot be a giver throughout. It has to be a give and take from both the ends. Sometimes one, you can be the giver, sometimes your partner can be the giver. It has to be a balance of that. So don't ever compromise. Please make sure that there is no level of compromise involved in that relationship. क्या तुम ये कर लोगे या ये कर लोगे तो ठीक है. Adjustments is fine, trying to keep the other person happy is fine. But the moment you start compromising is where everything starts to demolish. Fourth, don't sacrifice. I'll tell you the reason. It's not about one sacrificing, but we are human beings यार. अगर आप में से कोई महात्मा संत है तो I'm sorry, then this is not for you. But people like us, common human beings, it's very normal, आप expectations कितना भी मत रखो किसी से. The one person that you are getting into a relationship, and a relationship which is as serious as love and something that you want to build up on, यार sacrifice ना आप करते रहोगे, लेकिन life में ना वो काश भी आता रहेगा. एंड समवेयर दैट एक्सपेक्टेशन कि यार मैंने किया है, शायद दिस पर्सन विल ऑल्सो डू. एंड समटाइम्स द अदर पर्सन इज नॉट इवन आस्क्ड यू टू सैक्रिफाइस, यू आर सैक्रिफाइसिंग willingly. बट अगर आप willingly सैक्रिफाइस कर रहे हो, देन यू कैन नॉट हैव एक्सपेक्टेशन ऑफ द अदर पर्सन कि सामने वाला भी कुछ सैक्रिफाइस करे. व्हाई बर्डन दैट, व्हाई बर्डन द अदर पर्सन? बिकॉज यू चोज टू सैक्रिफाइस. और क्यों करना है सैक्रिफाइस यार? एक रिलेशनशिप में both people should support each other, both of them should be there for each other. और अगर आपको सैक्रिफाइस करते हुए सामने वाला देख के भी अनदेखा कर रहा है, या फिर वो इतना अनअवेयर है, या वो इतनी अनअवेयर है आपके सैक्रिफाइस को लेकर, क्लूलेस है कि आपने कोई सैक्रिफाइस किया है, या आपने इतने हेवी एडजस्टमेंट्स किए हैं विच आर इक्विवेलेंट टू सैक्रिफाइस, देन इट्स अ मार्क ऑफ डिसरिस्पेक्ट. एंड दैट ब्रिंग्स मी टू द फोर्थ don't let anybody ruin or take your self-respect from you. Never, never, ever. If somebody is not, like I'll tell you, there have been examples that I've come across. Somebody in the name of, oh, I'm being real with you. और real में क्या है, वो गुस्सा निकल रहा है कि I can't fake, but I'm feeling angry, so, and because you're able to take it. Like in my last relationship. Really? If I am telling you I'm uncomfortable with something and you still decide to do that, like I'm not asking you ki bhai, you don't do it. All I'm saying is don't do it while I'm around, or let me know that you want to do it. I'll be, I'll keep myself away from it because I'm not comfortable in that surrounding or doing whatever activity that you're doing. But then still choosing to do it right in front of me, not acknowledging and respecting my choice, is a mark of disrespect. If your partner does not respect your choice, what's the point? Your partner can surely disagree with your choice, might have different opinion about it, but he or she needs to respect your choice. They have all the liberty and freedom to talk it out or put their thoughts across. Fair enough. But having said that, nobody has the right to question your choice, including your partner. Fifth, don't settle for less. If you feel you deserve someone better, then you do deserve someone better. We all deserve somebody good in our life, right? So, there have been times when I have been told, अरे बेटा, you don't get to have everything, कहीं तो compromise करना पड़ता है, you need to, settle down for something. अगर, हमारी जैसी वो कौन सी आंटी थी वो, I'm forgetting her name, जो Netflix का एक शो, what was that show? मैच मेकिंग वाला कुछ तो शो था, उसमें वो आंटी बोलती थी द मैच मेकर दैट अरे आप 10 चीजें सोचोगे तो 7 चीजें मिलेंगी. एंड वन थिंग आई पॉइंट आउट हियर, आई एम सॉरी जो भी आंटी का नाम है वो, बट शी हैड दिस वेरी वियर्ड थिंग व्हिच आई ऑब्जर्व. ये एडवाइस उनकी हर लड़की को थी. लड़की कितनी भी अच्छी हो, कितनी भी टैलेंटेड हो, कितनी भी खूबसूरत हो, उनके हिसाब से एवरेज और मीडियोकर हो, कैसी भी लड़की हो, हर लड़की को ये बोलेंगी अब आपने लिस्ट मुझे दे दी है, सब तो नहीं मिलेगा, यू हैव टू एडजस्ट एंड कॉम्प्रोमाइज एट 60-70%. ये वो बोलती थी. बट विद गाइज शी वॉज ओनली टेलिंग दोज गाइज हु प्रॉब्ली इन हर ओपिनियन वर एवरेज मीडियोकर. द वंस हु वर ग्रेट, गुड लुकिंग, डूइंग गुड फॉर देमसेल्व्स, मनी एंड एवरीथिंग, उनको कभी नहीं बोलती थी वो. अगर बाई चांस उन्होंने किसी ऐसे उनके हिसाब के कुछ गुड लुकिंग वेल सेटल्ड लड़कों को बोला भी होगा, तो आई एम प्रीटी श्योर कि दैट पर्सन मस्ट हैव रब्ड हर इन द रॉन्ग वे, व्हिच इज व्हाई शी वुड हैव सेड कि थोड़ा सेटल करना पड़ेगा, या फिर शी वुड हैव गॉटन टायर्ड बिकॉज़ दैट गाय मस्ट हैव बीन थ्रोइंग टैंट्रम्स कि नो ये गड़बड़ है वो गड़बड़ है, देन शी वुड हैव. बट विद गर्ल्स इट वाज ऑलवेज एट द इनिशियल स्टेज ओनली दैट शी विल टेल, व्हिच आई समहाउ फेल्ट वाज वेरी रिग्रेसिव थिंकिंग. And for me, why I say that I will not settle for less is because my first relationship was a beautiful relationship. Things didn't work out not because of us, because of certain situations, because of his parents thinking or whatsoever. But between us, I had a great relationship with that guy. There was a lot of respect, a lot of love in that relationship, a lot of freedom in that relationship. We both individually were growing. At the same time, we were growing together in the relationship as partners also. That's what a good relationship is. So don't settle for less. Just because लोग कह रहे हैं कि अरे टाइम निकल जाएगा, तुम अकेली रह जाओगी या रह जाओगे, तुम्हारे दोस्तों की शादी होगी, तुम क्या कर रहे हो, all of that. No guys. जिंदगी पर दुखी रहने से अच्छा है कि आप कुछ देर अकेले रह लो. Okay? And I always say, I always prioritize my happiness and peace of mind before anything else. If anybody wants to come in, please It's okay if you don't contribute to my peace and happiness. I'm doing pretty great all by myself. But if you disturb that peace and happiness, then you are requested to leave. As simple as that. Sixth, don't put the other person before you. Prioritize yourself. Saath dena is one thing, but keeping someone before you is again महानता वाला जो मुझे समझ में नहीं आता. Why can't it be both of you together? Why does it have to be always like you have to keep this person first? Like लड़कियों से इंडिया में एक्सपेक्ट किया जाता है कि आपका मैरिज अगर हो गया है, रिलेशनशिप है, you know, even a relationship for that matter, करियर है तो ठीक है. But if you have to take a decision for you to grow in your career, you have to make sure कि हम दोनों अलग शहर में तो नहीं हो जाएंगे. Let's say if you have to move out, but the guy will take that decision and tell you कि listen, I have to move, so how do we work this shit out? How do we do long distance, or will you move there? Will you take a transfer? And same goes for guys. I don't know why there's so much burden on guys कि oh, they have to provide, they have to pay for the bills, they have to do that. Why? Why can't it be both of you together? Whether in a relationship or marriage, either ways. What we always say, it's a coming together of two souls, coming together of two equals. Relationships are not about completing each other. It's about fulfillment. You are complete in your own, and the person is your partner is complete in his or her own way. When you guys come together, you make that entire experience fulfilling, wholesome. So you need to prioritize yourself, because if you are not happy, if you are just giving and giving, you will exhaust yourself completely. And then, like it is said, if you are not happy, you can't make anybody else happy. So choose yourself first. I mean, people will call it selfish, but you know what selfishness is, what being self-centered is, and what prioritizing yourself is. There's a difference in all three. Seventh, don't change. And when I say change, it's not just yourself, but don't change the other person also. जब तक acceptance नहीं है, तब तक कोई relationship नहीं है. You need to accept the person the way they are, and they need to accept you the way you are. Because सबसे पहली सीधी acceptance है. If the person accepts you, then only the person can understand you better. Then only the person will respect you. And then all of that combined will make the other person fall in love with you. And vice versa, even you will. But if you fall in love with a person and thinking that कि, you know, मेरी लिस्ट की ये 4 चीजें मैच कर रही हैं, बाकी की 4 चीजें या बाकी की 2 चीजें मैच नहीं कर रही हैं, कोई बात नहीं, मैं इसको बदल दूंगी या बदल दूंगा. You will try to fit that person into a mold or a frame that you have designed without even knowing कि भाई सामने वाले की मर्जी है भी कि नहीं है. So don't try to change the person, don't try to change yourself. Make sure that both of you accept each other for the person, for the human being that you are. 8th, don't just look out for love. Respect is equally important. You know, I have seen relationships, not just my last relationship, but I have seen relationships where they're like, oh, he loves me, oh, she loves me a lot. But what about respect? What about respect? And it's not like he loves ज़्यादा है, respect कम होगा तो चलेगा. It has to be in equal quantity. And sometimes I feel even if respect थोड़ा ज़्यादा है, love थोड़ा कम है, चलेगा. Because love आज है, कल वो care में बदलेगा, परसों you know आदत में बन जाएगा. Respect will stay respect only. It will not change into any other form. Not that I'm saying that love can't grow. If I had a good experience, which I did have in my first relationship, my love grew and so did my respect. We might not be together, we might not be in touch, but I still have respect for that guy left. So my love has also converted into respect for that person. Or respect जो थी वो तो respect है ही है. And I will always respect that man. But with this guy, I did love and respect. But as they say, respect is not demanded, it's commanded. And he didn't do anything to command that respect. Although I did give him a lot of respect, no matter whatever I felt inside. Because I genuinely feel that In a relationship, love and respect go hand in hand. It's never one after the other or before. It has to be together. Ninth, don't downsize yourself. Why should you do that? If you have a great, amazing personality and you don't have any complex, be it inferior or superior, and if your partner does have whether a superiority complex or inferiority complex, either of it, उसको मैचअप करने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको. Be yourself. If the person that you are in relationship with feels inferior to you or otherwise in general, then make them feel great about themselves. Tell them about their positive qualities. Tell them that this is what they're great at. Boost their self-confidence. Do that. But don't make yourself look and seem and feel little in front of them or the world so that they can feel good about themselves. Don't do that. And same goes when it comes to superiority complex. कि अरे उसका मतलब मैच करना तो शो ऑफ करने लगो. And I have seen girls यार, just because the guy feels कि like oh मुझे तो एक hot shot लड़की चाहिए, या फिर लड़कों के साथ ऐसा होता है कि लड़की बोलती है अरे मुझे तो ऐसे लड़के पसंद है, ऐसे कपड़े पहनने वाले, वहां लेके जाने वाले, ये करने वाले. Then they will do things out of their way. उस आमिर खान के उसमें नहीं था कि मतलब औकात नहीं, लेकिन फिर भी एक महंगे से रेस्टोरेंट में नहीं भाई. You just be upfront कि भाई this is what I am. It's far much more important to be classy. And when I say classy, it does not mean how much money you have in your bank account or how expensive your clothes are or what kind of salons or restaurants or cafes you hang around or how much money you're spending on whatever your lifestyle is. It's about your thoughts. It's about how you conduct yourself. It's about how you carry yourself. It's about how you treat the other person. Are you respectful towards the other person? It's about not being egoistic. Yes, it's a very big thing for me. For me, anybody who's classy will never be egoistic. It's about having the power and yet not showing it off. It's about having the money and yet not showing it off. And it's about, even if you don't have the power and money, yet not be feeling anywhere small about it. Being confident in your own self, that's classy. Being comfortable in your own skin, that's classy. But toying with your own personality and wiring and rewiring your personality to something that you're not, just because you want to make the other person feel good about themselves or trying to get the validation from them, that's not right. Don't. And now the 10th one. Don't be with the person who makes you cry more than smile. I know it's a very small thing. Sometimes, प्यार में लड़ाई झगड़ा हुआ, आप दुखी हो गए. It's not just typical literally crying, but somebody who hurts you more than caresses you. No, don't be with that person. In the name of love. क्या प्यार में तो सब जायज है, लड़ाई झगड़ा होता रहता है, नोक-झोंक होती रहती है, yes होता रहता है. You can have difference of opinions. But if somebody starts hurting you, I'm not talking about physical love, but like you feel hurt with the words they choose, with their actions, then don't. Please. Be with the person who makes you smile. Be with the person who makes you feel great. Be with the person ki jahan par even you can enjoy the silences. You don't always need to have a conversation. You don't always need to make out. But you can enjoy even the presence of that person. Maybe not have a talk. Maybe just watching TV. But just the fact that the person is with you is good enough for you. And that brings a smile on your face. So be with that person. Don't be with the person who brings you restlessness. We always look out for the chemistry. But I would say always look out for the compatibility. Chemistry fizzles out. But if you have compatibility, chemistry अपने आप बन जाती है. But chemistry does not guarantee compatibility. ठीक है? So ये जो 10 मैंने लिस्ट अपनी बनाई है, I hope that makes sense to you. And as a friend, as a true friend, as a good friend of yours, I would request you guys, please, अगर आप relationship में जाना चाहते हो, you want somebody in your life, I mean, for serious, okay? I'm not talking about the people who are like, आज, एक परसों कोई और, तीसरा कोई और. There's nothing wrong, but this list is for the people who are looking and wanting to be in a relationship which is meaningful and not just आता जाता कुछ भी, मतलब एक गई दूसरी जाएगी, दूसरा आया तीसरा जाएगा, वो वाला हिसाब किताब, वो उसकी मैं क्लासेस नहीं देती हूँ. उन लोगों के लिए मेरे पास कोई एडवाइस या कोई लिस्ट नहीं है। एंजॉय योर लाइफ जैसे आपको अच्छा लगे। बिकॉज मेरे लिए इट्स लव इज नॉट अ स्विच ऑफ ऑन बटन। I do take time to fall in love, but when I do, I invest myself completely. So if I have to put it into a business person के दिमाग के हिसाब से, so whenever you invest into something, you want good returns also, and you want it to be a long-term relationship, right? So it is for those people who are looking for something meaningful. So guys, आज की तो लिस्ट पूरी हो गई डोंट्स की। तो नेक्स्ट वेंसडे हम मिलेंगे, जो इस सीजन का लास्ट एपिसोड होने वाला है। उसमें हम डिस्कस करेंगे डूज ऑफ अ रिलेशनशिप, ऑफ बीइंग इन अ रिलेशनशिप और बीइंग अ गुड पार्टनर इन अ रिलेशनशिप, है ना? तो तब तक के लिए लव योरसेल्फ, रिस्पेक्ट योरसेल्फ एंड प्रायोरिटाइज योरसेल्फ। यार वैसे ये मतलब मैं जनरली इतने बड़े इयरिंग्स पहनती हूँ, तो क्या करूँ?